Hey there, Midnight Mysteries family. Today's story is about the time I had to live with a girl named Jessica. No, the name is not enough. The story is not for lighthearted, so be sure before listening to my true scary stories. Also hit that like button, subscribe for more scary stories daily, it keeps me encouraged to share my stories with you. Let's dive in. In the heart of the bustling city, where the skyscrapers towered like giants and the streets hummed with life, there stood an unassuming apartment building. Within its walls dwelled a multitude of souls, each with their own dreams and aspirations. It was here that I found myself, fresh out of college and eager to embark on the next chapter of my life. My name is Tom, and when I moved into that apartment building, little did I know that my life was about to take a turn into the realm of the unknown. I was assigned a roommate named Jessica, a cheerful and outgoing young woman who greeted me with a warm smile on the day of my arrival. At first, everything seemed perfectly normal. Jessica and I quickly settled into a routine, sharing stories of our pasts and aspirations for the future. Yet, as the days turned into weeks, I began to notice peculiarities within our shared space. It started with small things, items misplaced, strange noises in the dead of night. At first, I brushed them off as the quirks of apartment living, but as time went on, the occurrences grew more frequent and unsettling. One night, as I lay in bed trying to sleep, I heard whispers echoing through the walls. At first, I thought it was just my imagination, but the voices grew louder and more distinct, sending shivers down my spine. I called out to Jessica, but she slept soundly, oblivious to the eerie symphony that filled our apartment. The next morning, I confronted Jessica about the strange happenings, hoping for an explanation or reassurance. To my surprise, she dismissed my concerns with a casual laugh, attributing the disturbances to the old building's creaks and groans. But I couldn't shake the feeling of unease that lingered within me. I began to keep a journal, documenting each strange occurrence in painstaking detail. I scoured the internet for answers, delving into forums and websites dedicated to the supernatural, searching for any clue that might shed light on the mystery unfolding before me. As the days turned into months, the disturbances only grew worse. Objects would move of their own accord, shadows danced in the corners of my vision, and the whispers grew louder and more insistent. I felt like I was losing my mind, trapped in a nightmare from which I couldn't wake. Desperate for answers, I confided in Jessica once more, but she remained steadfast in her belief that there was nothing amiss. It was then that I began to wonder, did Jessica know more than she was letting on? Was she hiding something from me? Determined to uncover the truth, I embarked on a journey that would take me to the darkest corners of our apartment building. I interviewed neighbors, researched the building's history, and even sought out the advice of experts in the paranormal. But the more I searched, the more elusive the truth became. It was as if the answers were just out of reach, taunting me with their elusiveness. And all the while, the whispers grew louder, their words like daggers in my mind. One fateful night, as I lay awake listening to the whispers that filled our apartment, I saw something that would haunt me forever. A shadowy figure materialized in the darkness, its form shifting and contorting in ways that defied logic. I called out to Jessica, but she remained asleep, oblivious to the nightmare unfolding before me. With trembling hands, I reached for my phone, determined to capture evidence of the entity that haunted our home. But as I snapped a photo, the figure vanished into thin air, leaving me alone in the darkness with nothing but my fear and uncertainty. And in that moment, I knew that whatever was lurking within our apartment was far more sinister than I could have ever imagined. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, I became consumed by the mystery that surrounded us. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I was consumed by the need to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. And then, one day, I found it. Hidden away in a forgotten corner of the building's basement, I discovered an old journal belonging to a previous tenant. Its pages were filled with accounts of strange occurrences, of whispers in the night and shadows that moved of their own accord. But what chilled me to the bone were the final entries, which spoke of a dark entity that dwelled within the building, feeding on the fear of its inhabitants. It was a creature of pure malevolence, born from the depths of human nightmares, and it had chosen our apartment as its new hunting ground. Armed with this knowledge, I confronted Jessica, demanding answers. And as she stood before me, her eyes filled with fear and resignation, she confessed the truth, that she had known about the entity all along, that she had made a deal to protect herself at the expense of our sanity and safety. In that moment, everything became clear. The strange occurrences, Jessica's nonchalant attitude, it all made sense. And as I stared into the abyss of her betrayal, I realized that I was truly alone, trapped in a nightmare of my own making. But even as I stood on the precipice of despair, a fire ignited within me, a fire fueled by anger, by fear, by the need for justice. And as I gazed upon the entity that had haunted us for so long, I knew that I would stop at nothing to rid our apartment of its malevolent presence, no matter the cost. And so, armed with nothing but determination and courage, I faced the darkness head-on, ready to confront the horrors that lurked within and emerge victorious, no matter the odds. For I had learned that in the face of true evil, there is only one choice, to fight or to fall, and I chose to fight with every fiber of my being, until the last whisper faded into silence and the shadows receded into nothingness, leaving me alone in the light of a new day.